Hi guys, FenixFire here with a Monotype battle against another Serbi chatroom user called VB. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a YouTube account, so I won't be able to link to him. Nevertheless, he's a great battler with a wide range of Pokemon at his disposal, so let's kick it off. I lead off with Aerodactyl while my opponent leads off with Weavile. Knowing Fake Out is on its way, I switch in my Tyranitar to preserve Aerodactyl's Focus Sash and set up my Sandstorm. With it, I'll not only break Weavile's Sash, but boost my Rock Pokemon's special defenses at the same time. With two of my Pokemon shown, my opponent now knows that I'm running a Mono Rock team. Fearing a fighting type move, I recall Tyranitar and send in Omastar, who can take any hit reasonably well with its high defenses. Unfortunately for me, my opponent goes for Taunt instead, preventing Omastar from setting up. Even though Omastar is taunted, my opponent knows Weavile's poor defenses cannot stand up to Omastar's attacks and switches out. Predicting that, I went for a knockoff instead of Surf, allowing me to rob my opponent's switch in of any item he might carry. Luckily for me, he sends in a Spiritomb, allowing me to knock off its leftovers and severely crippling its warm capabilities in Sandstorm. With Spiritomb being a Dark Ghost type, I now know my opponent is sporting a Mono Dark team. With the advent of a possible calm mindset and no Stealth Rocks on his side of the field yet, I try to switch in Aerodactyl to taunt it. Much to my dismay, my opponent predicts my switch and taunts me again, disallowing Aerodactyl to set up my Stealth Rocks or taunt Spiritomb itself. As my taunted Aerodactyl can do little to no damage to his bulky Spiritomb, I switch in my Omastar again, as my opponent goes for Will-O-Wisp. Even though Omastar doesn't carry any potent physical attacks, it would have hampered its walling efforts. Knowing that I'm faster, I can at least set up one layer of Toxic Spikes before getting hit by Taunt. As none of my team can really take a Will-O-Wisp without too much trouble, I decide to stay in and try to wear down Spiritomb with Surf. Sadly, my opponent misses the Will-O-Wisp again. With only 6.25% chance of that happening, VB is definitely on a bad luck streak here. As Spiritomb hits me with a final Sucker Punch, I'm able to knock it out with a combination of Surf and Sandstorm damage, leaving the score at 6 versus 5. With my opponent switching in Honchkrow, I'm positive he'll go for Superpower to take Omastar out. As I don't have any Stealth Rocks up yet, and still have my Focus Sash, I switch in Aerodactyl to take the hit. Spotting the Life Orb, Sucker Punch is definitely a threat, so I decide to set up my Stealth Rocks instead of attacking outright. My opponent, on the other hand, decides to switch Weavile back in, probably to scare me off with Fake Out. As I switch in Omastar to take the hit, my opponent makes a good play by going for Taunt instead, thus stopping me from setting up more Toxic Spikes or Protect stalling. As Weavile is taking heavy residual damage, I decide to wear it down even further with Surf, while VB opts for Ice Punch, probably expecting me to switch back to Aerodactyl or simply because he doesn't pack a fighting type move. As the sandstorm claims another victim, the score drops to 6 versus 4. With pressure mounting, VB sends Honchkrow back in. Once again fearing superpower and not being able to protect due to taunt, I decide to relinquish Aerodactyl by switching it in. But instead VB protects me nicely and goes for pursuit, dealing massive damage to Omastar on the switch. As Aerodactyl will easily be taken down by Sucker Punch, I double switch back to Omastar to shed the taunt and dodge the attack, allowing me to protect Sor for more residual damage. Thinking my opponent will try to predict my switch again, I stay in and try to finish it off with Surf. Luckily for me, my opponent does go for pursuit, allowing Omastar to bring Honchkrow down with Surf and reduce the score to a confining 6 versus 3. With only 3 Pokemon left, VB switches in a Tyranitar. Unsure of what set it would be, I command Omastar to protect itself and rack up some more poison damage. Seeing superpower, I'm pretty sure he's running a Scarf Tyranitar. With nowhere left to run, Omastar braces for impact. And miraculously lives with 5 HP, allowing it to knock off Tyranitar's Choice Scarf and render its revenge killing abilities ineffective. With Omastar barely holding on, I decide to let it protect once again, to rack up more poison damage. Even though Tyranitar is able to finish off Omastar with his second superpower, he definitely pulled his weight here, leaving me in a comfortable spot at 5 versus 3. Severely weakened by losing its Scarf and the stat drops, I send in Aerodactyl to outspeed and finish it off with a Stab Rock Slide. As Tyranitar goes down, so does the score to 5 versus 2. With only limited options left, my opponent switches in an Umbreon. But with the poison damage and the sandstorm nibbling away at its HP and the premise of Aerodactyl taunting it, VB concedes defeat, ending the match in a 5 versus 2. That was the game for today. I hope you enjoyed it and feel free to comment, like and subscribe. Until next time, FenixFire signing out.